If you look at the startup waves in India, Infosys, let's give it the grant that it's mid-90s was the first wave. Second and third, were there better waves, or why didn't we see the same fallout that was happening in those times?
There were fallouts. When Infosys was started, many other companies were started, right? Only few survived, Infosys, Wipro, TCS, but many that failed, we don't talk about today. I don't want to name any company because they're all friends, but many didn't succeed. Many didn't succeed as much as an Infosys or a Wipro or a TCS. So I consider that as the late 70s, early 80s as the first wave. The second wave is when Mindtree, Cognizant, that's the late 90s. The third wave is the 2008, so immediately after the financial crisis. Flipkart is an example of the third wave. And the fourth wave is the 2015 onwards, when Prime Minister Modi supported startups right from the top. And that's the fourth wave. And these are waves, and many fail, but some survive. Many may not make it to the same level of growth. They may turn out to be MSMEs and things like that. And that's the nature of the innovation ecosystem. And we need it because these are the the disruptions that bring new technology to the society, and these are the businesses that create an acceleration in the growth of the economy. So if India, grows at 5 to 6%, to take it to 10%, you need a robust startup ecosystem because they will grow very fast.
Now, if you look at what has happened, firstly, there was a boom because of COVID. COVID didn't allow us to go outside, so we started ordering food. So all the food startups really did well. Education startups, because you couldn't really go to college or school, so Byju's and everyone flourished. Suddenly after COVID ends, you see this huge dip. Now, is there a need to broad-base startups beyond the obvious sort of things that happen in society? Innovative. Where do you become the kind of, Oyos or whatever it is that's there? Olas
so there are opportunistic businesses. These are businesses that take advantage of something that happens in the short term. So if you look at COVID, the remote tutoring, right? Stay at home and tutor students, etc. I believe that's a temporary phenomenon. Now, a permanent phenomenon is online education, especially for continuing education, people who are working, etc., or people who want to take their own time to graduate, etc. So that is a long-term phenomenon. So you need to differentiate between these two, and any business that wants to create an institution has to have long-term value proposition and must stay continuously relevant. See, if I look at the IT services industry, and we have extensively researched this for our book. When Infosys was started, we were working on mainframe computers. COBOL was the programming language. Look at today, right? It's mobile phones, and the programming languages are Python and things like that. Very different. But these companies have stayed relevant. They have made sure that they can find solutions to customers in all these technology transitions. So the technology transitions from mainframes to PCs to internet to mobile telephones, now IoT, cloud computing, but these companies have stayed relevant. So when you build a long-term institution, you have to stay relevant. India today, right? Has stayed relevant through the ages.
Despite the fact that everyone's gone digital, we are still there.
Yes. So you have to create the relevant social media handles and all that stuff. So this is what is required to create a long-term business.
I think that's lesson one for startups, is it must be relevant to whatever's happening and a certain long-term.
There has to be a long-term vision of what your solution is going to, bring value to your customers. So that has to be there.
Now let's do lesson two, since you're the guru on this. First you need a great idea and a long-term vision and, something that is relevant to that.
And the stamina to run the marathon.
Sorry?
And the stamina to run the marathon.
Very good one. Lesson two is don't think startups are startups that you get money immediately and you'll be okay, that you have success.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that Byju's, I
Let's
spoke
not-
to him.
Let's
yes.
not take any names.
No, I'm just giving you a very positive story. I interviewed him a couple of months ago, and he said he was in a village in Kerala and he was great at tutoring. And then he took that idea, but it took him something like 10 years to really think. It was not overnight that he became a success.
It's not over.
Yeah, but yes, continue, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, see, making money is the outcome of providing value to somebody called a customer. If you don't provide value, if you don't create a valuable business, don't expect money to come.
Very interesting. So
Because
that's lesson
you
3.
you don't create a business to make money. You
Right.
create a business to serve your customer.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And a result of that is, hopefully, if the customer is very happy, they tell other customers and you grow very rapidly, you make money.
So you have relevance that you said, lesson 1. Lesson 2 is
Marathon,
marathon man, and number 3 is,
long-term value creation.
right.
Make
okay.
focus on serving your customers, money will come.